It's Rivers' Chargers going up against Newton's Panthers. With that, let's get up to Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. Here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the San Diego Chargers and the Carolina Panthers. One man in the backfield is Gordon. He'll get the football here. And he powers his way up past the 30. And it's Gordon who leads the NFL in touchdowns through the first 4 games. He has 6.
Definitely finding his way to the end zone. What he wants to find is more space to run before he gets to the end zone. Just 36 yards on the ground. He'll take the touchdowns, but he wants more long carries to help out his team.
Yeah, 19 carries for those 36 yards, too, in week 4. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. The starting lineup for the Chargers of San Diego. Who are we discussing out of this unit, Charles?
A big guy out of Arkansas. Their tight end, a second-round pick, Hunter Henry. Many people had a first-round grade on him. Plays the best tight end coming out of the draft. Has the ability to get down the middle of the field, get into the seams, and knows how to find dead space against the defense and create plays.
This Carolina defense, they ran into a buzzsaw in week 4 when the Falcons put up 48 points. And Falcons offense is good, but it just doesn't look like the same Carolina defense we saw last year.
The dominant defense that you're talking about from 2015, that pressure from K.K. Short and Coney Ely up front. How about Luke Kuechly and Thomas Davis Jr. at the linebacker spot? I'm not sure there's a better tandem. And maybe they're missing someone in the secondary named Josh Norman.
By the way, one final note from that game, the 571 yards the Falcons had, the most a Panthers team has ever given up. Now a first down throw for Newton. Flushed out right. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And this is caught at the 20. And he'll be taken down deep into San Diego territory. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it seems almost effortless.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run. This is Jonathan Stewart. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Kelvin Benjamin has to be a feature of this offense that's on your screen now.
Definitely a #1 receiver, a huge target with some speed. It's almost like go-go gadget when he goes up to get the football. No matter how you defend him, he can go just a little bit higher.
Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. On 4th down, Newton eluding the pressure right. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come down.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away, because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And on the last drive, They were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit. They're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he's brought down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. To the air again, Newton. Dancing to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
I see an extra DB on the field now for San Diego.
Yeah, indeed. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. Here we go on 4th. Newton. It's brought in right side by Ginn. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Newton on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
Forced out to his left. That's caught at the 2. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Greg Olsen, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. And this is good as they extend it out now to a 9-0 lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So out come the Chargers. And last time they surrendered to safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Rivers now on second down, and it's complete to Antonio Gates. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be third down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some.
Do you get the sense, Brandon, that people are trying to retire Antonio Gates? They keep thinking this is almost the end of the line, and then he keeps making catches like the one we just saw there.
He's the old reliable, you're right, just one of 9 players in the NFL with 100 or more touchdowns. Well, across the league news, it's not really news. Everyone has heard about it. Tom Brady will finally return this week. And thought the Patriots might be 4-0, but they got skunked in week 4.
That's almost perfect timing, isn't it? Because that loss that Buffalo put on them really crystallized the big guys coming back. Here comes Tom Brady to the rescue, takes over the offense again, and now New England's confidence soars. They've got their leader back.
And the back goes into motion. On third down, Rivers to the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
A lot of times when you talk about the draft process, partner, a lot of people say, is it art, is it science, what is it? But in this case, drafting Hunter Henry by San Diego, a really good move, even though Antonio Gates is still on the roster.
Well, week 4, he filled in nicely for Antonio Gates. 4 catches, 61 yards, and a touchdown for the rookie. And he goes in motion here in the backfield. The play clock's running down. To throw, Rivers. And underneath here to McCluster. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. Boy, you have to be surprised by that. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They go play action here on first down. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. Two minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Newton to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. The intended target that time was Jonathan Stewart. And it's third down.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well. And he didn't get that done on that play.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Greg Olsen. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And that will make this a 16-point lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And now San Diego getting set to go. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
A second down throw for Rivers. Surveying the field. Caught left side, Williams. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and they're going to have a third down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Rivers from the gun on third down. Henry's got it out on the left side. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Hunter Henry out of the University of Arkansas was definitely the consensus top tight end in the 2016 draft. I thought he might sneak into the first round. He didn't. But I think that Philip Rivers is really happy to have him in San Diego. They're already starting to make that connection.
A big gain that time for the Chargers. 34 yards. A nice little completion there by Philip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad. Not so bad at all.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Dexter McCluster, a 12-yard touchdown grab. Chargers are able to close the gap just a bit.
Yeah, you heard it, right?
Exhale.
You heard the exhale, and I'm taking that from their bench because finally, right before the half, they find a way to get the ball in the end zone and get some points on the board. Maybe they can use that to kickstart them for the second half.
Yeah, just to get something before going into the lockers. And now in the second half, if they can just tighten.
That's what they want to do. Tighten down everything they're doing, and it maybe explode at the right time.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Newton now to throw. Now he'll turn, and when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the half, Rivers. This is Gordon on the dump off. Slips past him.
Where'd he go?
And he's brought down. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. First possession in the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
One man in the backfield is Gordon. He's going to get the football. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game. But here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game. And if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit. Try it that way.
On third down, Rivers. And this complete to Henry over the middle. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They're indeed going for it. It's Rivers. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Pan out. And the pan.
Babe, show me what you like. Hey, I put money, I can match it for you. I'm in this all white fit, looking like a brick and all them zippers on a jacket on you. He got a thing for a Latin.